Well, time to talk about my biggest Mara Kerri regret. So, non-consequential stuff happened, maybe I'll talk about them later. Just some things of note. Mara was sent back in time, and she was told not to tell past Mitula about this all. One mechanic I need to explain about this is that Vial didn't erase Kerri. It actually just added another being into her. So essentially, when a situation became stressful enough for Mara, Kerri had to make a wisdom check. Over 10, and she was out until knocked unconscious. At which time, Mara would retake control, unaware of the events that happened before. This made for some moments in which Kerri bursts out and helps the party when they need her, such as when Mara's favorite person and at time love interest, but that changed later for a good reason, a werewolf named Lucian was downed. Now, Kerri wasn't the brightest, but she was strong, and she could brutally murder anyone. One moment she had was when there was a dome of ice covering a large area to protect it from the darkness that was infecting everything. She didn't notice the people on the other side of the ice, and thought, ice is cold water, fire is hot, fire melts ice, I have an alms box. And so she took out Mara's alms box and set it on fire right next to the ice. It was melting and was on its way to melt through the wall, eventually. I include this story because it shows her level of brightness and rationale. She's compulsive and believes in Occam's razor, that is, everything being equal, the simplest answer tends to be the right one, to a fault. She goes simple in almost everything. If the party was planning a goblin raid and she was told to do anything but go in sword swinging, she would go in and start slashing everything in sight. Now remember when I mentioned Lucian? Because that was the time that started the end of Kerri. Kerri didn't care about Lucian, but Mara did. The stress of seeing him downed was too much for her, letting out Kerri to start pulverizing the dark creatures there. Afterward, though, the party met with the being they were after, Dark Soul. Now, remember when I said that Kerri was compulsive? Well, I played too much as her. I mean, I played to her character first and foremost in this moment. Now, do I mean that she attacked Dark Soul? No, she wasn't being attacked by him, and she wasn't completely dumb. She knew he could probably kill her easily. So, what did she do? She walked up to the Devil King and asked him if he could separate Mara from her. And he did. Gladly. So, Kerri stood proud. Finally, I'll be rid of that brat. She began to feel immense pain. Her body lost its skin, turning into a demon under Dark Soul's control. Her flesh has fallen to the ground in a black puddle, and this was the end of Kerri. But something came out of that puddle. Well, that, my friends, is a story for another video. I will put a link to the tablet in the description. This tablet is a great tablet for beginner users. It is made by Vake, which is based in Beijing, and the production is done in Shenzhen, China. It comes with a booklet of instructions, though there seem to be grammar issues, at least in the English instructions. I can't say one way or the other for the Japanese, French, German, Spanish, or Italian instructions found in the booklet, as I do not actually know those languages, though I am learning Japanese. And grammar issues is definitely something you'll find coming with this product when you read through things. But this has nothing to do with performance, and the grammatical errors don't impede on figuring out the instructions. The chord length is 4'11", just shy of 5 feet, at least as much as I could measure it out myself. But the problem I have with it is the same I have with the Huey in 580, and that's the placement of the port being on the left side. It honestly would help me out personally if there were a port on the right or the top of the tablet, but that's a personal preference. The first time I installed the driver, it didn't ask me if I wanted to restart my computer to complete installation. It simply did it. This didn't happen with subsequent installations, though. One mistake I made was I didn't uninstall my Huion driver originally, which messed up the pen pressure. If you don't care about pen pressure, then I guess don't worry about uninstalling? Of course, another problem could come up, which is a problem I had even after uninstalling my Huion driver, and that's with the tablet refusing to respond at times, sometimes frequently, making me have to pull away the pen from the tablet's sensors in order to reset it. I went for a fresh installation with a new installer, and that problem just went away for me. One thing I did notice is that the pen holder doesn't prevent the tablet from sensing the pen, it only prevents it from interacting with the tablet. So you can move your cruiser around with the case on the pen, but you can't click anything. It also came with a glove, which the opening was a bit small, making it a struggle to get my hand in, and bigger hands will probably have even more of an issue. The lettering also rubbed off without me even noticing it, and by the time I did notice, half of the letters were gone. The seams of the glove didn't hold out too well either, with it starting to pull apart. All in all, the glove is kinda a miss. But I don't see it as that necessary for a tablet like this anyway, so no loss there. So from there, the tablet worked just fine, though the pen felt off to me. And the nibs are thicker at the points than my Huion pen. It has buttons on the side for hotkeys as well, but I found myself never using it and simply keeping my hand at Control Z, X, C, and V all the time. But for others, especially someone with a disability making it only possible for them to use one of their hands, this can be a great thing for them. Overall, it's a good tablet. Definitely cheaper than most tablets you'll find, and definitely good for beginners who don't know whether they want to commit themselves to the art. Anyways, I have another announcement. That being that I began a Ko-fi account and a Redbubble account. If you'd like to support me on either of those platforms, the links will be in the description. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you guys next time.